Hey there, 401ers. This is David Weiss, your Board Game Concierge, and I'm just going to play through a couple of turns of Marvel Champions, which is launching this Friday, November 1st. And there's a launch event at the store downtown, 401 Games downtown, 750 Yonge Street at Bloor. So hopefully this will give you some sense of the game. We've already done an unboxing video and a setup video if you want to check those out too. So here's where we're at. It's turn one. I've mulliganed out some cards. This is what I have in my hand. And so basically what happens is each player takes a turn, and then when after all the players have gone, then the villain goes. So we're going first. Now, the first decision we have to make is what to do about our hero. Do we want them... we have a choice of options. And so we can change form, we can play cards, use basic powers, use an ally card, to activate an ally card to do stuff, trigger actions on cards, and ask another player to trigger an action. But since we're only playing solo, that last one is not available. So you can only change form once around and on your turn. So, and you can decide when to do it as well, which is interesting. So, for example, like, I could start off, we start the game as Peter Parker. If we started with a hand of some cheap resources to play, and we wanted to get those into play first, because PD can generate one science mental resource per turn, we could conceivably play something for free and then change into our Spidey costume and go do some neighborhood saving. But in this case, thinking ahead to what I want to do, I'm going to switch right away into Spider-Man form, and I'll explain why. Well, my plan for this turn is, I've got a swinging web kick, which does 8 damage right off the bat. It's expensive, though. And, Rhino, in his first stage, only has 14 hit points. So, if I can grind him... The faster I can grind him down, the better, before he can get a chance to scheme. And I have 6 cards in hand. What's interesting is Spidey, and I'm sure they've done this on purpose, the hand size for Spidey is only 5. So, but that's only I only have to check hand size at the end of the round. So it's okay if I switch. I don't have to discard anything now. So I'm going to change first, and then I can do as follows. So there's no point in thwarting anything because there's no threat on the board. So first, I can actually attack with Spidey's attack value. Spidey isn't great at thwarting, but he's better at attacking, and he's got really good defense. Sorry, just waiting for the cam. There we go. So not great at thwarting, decent attack, really good defense. And he's got some pretty great interrupts and stuff too, which is nice and thematic, sort of shows his reflexes and so on. So I'm going to play Swinging Web Kick, and it takes 3 actions, 3 resources, I'm sorry. What I'm not sure about is actually, what's interesting is whether I'm allowed to use the free resource from Peter Parker. And then I only have to spend 2 cards. Just hold for a second. I'm going to check that out. Okay, we're back. So, again, I love Fantasy Flight. Their rules references are really well done. It took me 2 seconds, basically, to look at the index on the back and look for resource abilities and check it out. And what it says is, a resource ability can be triggered anytime the player who controls the ability is generating resources to pay a cost. So here's the thing that I walked back. Basically, PD can generate a resource in his alter ego form, but not in his hero form. In his hero form, he's got this interrupt, which lets him draw a card when he's attacked. So what I'm going to do, and this saves me a card, and since cards are a good currency here, so in PD form, I'm going to generate 1 resource with him, and I'm going to generate... now, here's the tricky part. I want to save these interrupts for later, so I don't want to discard those. The question is, and this is the card I want to play, so I need to spend 2 resources. So which of these 2 do I want to? Now, I'm thinking I might want to save this for Justice Event, because this lets me remove 4 threat. Well, he's not going to generate that much threat right away. Which one am I most likely to use right away? I don't know, but it'd be nice to install this upgrade, I think, maybe next turn, because this lets me basically spend him twice. So, I'm going to do the swinging web kick, spending these 2, and they generate energy and mental resources, plus the PD one, because I'm allowed to do a swinging web kick even as Peter Parker, and that does 8 damage right there. Woohoo, PD. So he goes down. Rhino goes down to 6. And then I change into Spidey form. And I will exhaust Spidey to attack. And now Rhino's already down to 4. And these I'm saving. So, like, I have some flex. I'm going to draw back up to 5 now because Spidey's hand size is 5. So I got my enhanced Spidey sense. I've got 2 of them. Ooh, and this is a very powerful upgrade. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is what I've got now for Spidey, and my turn is over. And at the end of the turn, everyone readies. So now it's the villain phase. So, just as a reminder here, this is a simple scheme for Rhino. If this card accumulates 7 threat per player, which means 7 threat, then I lose. And Rhino's gonna place 1 threat per player per turn. It starts with 0. So I place 1 threat on the main scheme. And now the villain activates once per player. And what are they going to do? So, and if there were any minions, they would attack as well. But there are no minions at this point. Banana. So, if I was in alter ego form, Rhino would scheme. But he is in hero form, so he attacks. So, what we do is, this is a neat thing. So, he gets a boost card from here. There's going to be some pips at the bottom. And now I have to decide if Spidey's going to defend or not. But what I'm wondering is that like I've got this backflip that costs no resources, and if I would take any amount of damage, I prevent all that damage. And if I take a look in my deck here, I've got 2 of them in my deck. 2 in my deck. So, I mean, I've got a backup there. So now, but I also have a defensive 3. I'm not sure whether I should be defending or not. Okay, well, let's see what happens. So then I boost the card face up. So Rhino attacks with 2. So I'm going to take, let's just bring this up here, at least in this stage. He attacks with a strength of 2. Later on, he's going to attack with a strength of 3. So there he is in stage 1. Here we go, Rhino. Come on. There, boy. There we go. Attack strength of 2. So, now I don't know what the distribution of pips is on these cards. I don't know anything. I'm new in this neighborhood. So, I'll just rely on my backflip to get me out of here if I need to. So he's attacking with 2, and then adding 2 to that. There's the number of ninja stars, or whatever you want to call those. So that's 4. And so I will spend my backflip as an interrupt to prevent all that damage. So I take no damage. So that's that. So after the villain and minions interact with the heroes, the next thing is encounter cards. So I now am going to, every player in player order gets one. And now I'm going to resolve it. So in this case, it's a treachery. So if it's a treachery, right now it just says the villain schemes. So I would assume that in this case, we would be adding another threat there, but let's take a look. What do I have here? So I could spend a card. Well, basically spend a Spidey Sense card and another card to do that. But then, now I'm awfully low on cards going into my turn. On the other hand, there's only 7 in there, so see, these are the tough choices, because at the end, I don't draw back up. It's interesting. So, oh, I should have been able to draw a card when he initiated attack against me. So I should have been able to draw a card. That helps a little bit. So, and this is an upgrade to attach to a minion. That's interesting. Oh, but he's got no minions. But it does give me another card, and cards are good. And spider tracers. How many spider tracers do I have? I have 2. I really want this tenacity. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Sorry thinking this through, but this webbed up is really powerful. I don't think I'm going to have this. So I'm going to spend my enhanced Spidey Sense, which takes 1 resource, and I will spend the web flip to do that. And I will do that. And then that would be the end of the round. So, we begin the second round. So again, we do the players all go first, and then the villain. So I've only got the 3 cards. There's no point in me. He's got no minions in play. I've got this. I've got the tenacity. So here's the thing: is if I spend this tenacity, if I install this upgrade. I keep thinking in terms of Android Netrunner here, but I'm getting rid of these 2 cards, or I flip over to this and let him. I think I'm actually going to. When Spidey heals, which you can recover, he heals 3. He's a fast healer, which again, thematic. So I think, and he's got no damage right now. I'm still at 10. So I think I'm going to stay in my Spidey form. And I can't play any of, well, All right, you know what? I'm going to play Tenacity as an upgrade. I'm just going to get rid of this. I don't need that. So I'm going to play, I've got this upgrade. I'm going to discard these other two. Now I'm one. See all these fascinating things. Because if I switch over now to Peter Parker, then I have an extra card. I get to draw up to 6. Plus, I can now use Peter's resource to get this into play, which saves me something. So, I think I will do that. And then, now which of these do I get rid of? So you can see this game is full of tough choices. I've already used one of my 2 Spidey senses, so I'll get rid of the Spider Tracker. And now, because I've ended my turn on the PD side, I get to draw up to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, I've gotten some pretty high cards here. 5, 6. Ooh, oh my goodness. Those are good cards. So, back to the villain. So, once again, and this is where actually I wish the game, I'm not sure if it has any player aid cards, so you kind of have to, oh, well, we've got the quick reference here. That's on the back of that. Yeah, interesting. Okay, anyway, for the villain phase, we're going to place one more threat on the scheme. But now I'm in my PD phase, so he's going to do extra scheming. So what we do there is, again, he gets a boost. So, and he normally schemes with 1. And I flip this over, and there's nothing there that I can see. I think I lucked out there. I don't know what that symbol is. I think that's just a card thing. So luckily, I'm only just adding 1 more threat. And again, he's got no minions. So now I'm going to resolve the encounter. So playing this for me, and it is, ooh, here we have a minion. Okay, it's Bob, the Hydra mercenary. And, and Bob has guard. Those of us who've played Hearthstone or Lord of the Rings Online or whatever. So now I'll just move that over there. As long as he's alive, and he has 3 hit points. And he's engaged with me. So if it's a minion, and, well, that's just with me, so it doesn't matter. And so that's it. Okay, so that's turn 2. I hope that gives you a sense of how the game plays. Once again, the 401 Games launch event is this Friday, November 1st, at 5:30, I think, or 6 o'clock. You can check the store website, and you can come on down and play. I'll be there to help people be playing. I'll probably be playing myself, but also be teaching. So this is David Weiss, your Board Game Concierge, wishing you a great rest of the week, and have fun with Marvel Champions.